everybody, welcome to another episode of First Impressions. Today we're going to be looking at the Skyrim Remaster. I'm going to go through some of the things that I like, some of the things that I maybe don't like so much, and just give you my overall first impressions, so I hope you enjoy. Visually, this game's had a big overhaul compared to the original. Character models are a lot smoother, movement of the NPCs, it's not as sort of jerky. The actual textures of the environment, people, clothing, they stand out a lot more. Water effects, weather, you can notice those, they do stand out and appear a lot more realistic compared to the original. The overall colour scheme to the game seems to have a brighter update, a boost almost. Sometimes the original colour scheme could seem a little bit muted. There are times when you stood next to a building or an NPC or outdoors and the texture may look a little bit blurry at times, but on the whole there's definitely a vast improvement in my opinion. The actual gameplay itself, it does run a lot more smoothly in combat now. In the original I've noticed sometimes when you had any sort of more than say 5-6 NPCs in battle or a creature, the gameplay could slow down, grind to a halt, even crash in some instances. I've not noticed any issues with that thanks on here, even when you've got a large number of effects going on at once. So if you've got spellcasters, NPCs, firing arrows, explorers going on, there's been no grinding or jerking to the actual gameplay, so that's a big improvement for me. One thing that still stands out as a bit of a letdown, this is the same as the original really, is the actual melee combat does seem a little bit jerky at times, and I doubt short of actually completely changing the animations in game that we could really do much about that. But it's only a minor niggle. Generally you don't notice it too much. Yeah, it's just the odd occasion. If you're using a spell caster or using someone an archer, then combat is still quite fast and fluid as well. As with the original, there's a ton of quests, side quests, random encounters. And again, like with the original, can be a little bit overwhelming at times. You complete one quest, you're on your way back to the quest giver, a random event triggers, it triggers another quest, and it can feel like it spirals out of control. But that's mainly for me, it's a good thing. You're not going to run out of things to do. It's just a case of prioritising what you want to do and not getting distracted, which I do have a tendency to do when I'm like wandering around in the environment or in the world. But you can't fault Bethesda for doing that. It's better to have a vast amount of content than not enough at all, and because the game can feel short-lived in that case. The sound in the game is really good. I enjoyed the original soundtrack, and so again it's just the same in this one. The effects in the game, such as if you're fighting, you've got swords, metal clashing, spells, environmental effects such as pottery, breaking, things like when PCs open, close doors, that's all still present. It's a little bit sharper. The only thing I've noticed, which is rare but it's happened on a few occasions, I've finished combat, I've gone back to a town, but whilst I'm on my way back to a town, or even when I've fast travelled, I've still noticed the combat music's playing. It's not a massive problem, just a little bit distracting where you've got the large booming music, and if you try perhaps talking to a quest giver, it can be a little bit distracting if you didn't have the subtitles on, but thankfully instances of that have been few and far between for me. The best thing for me definitely is introduction of mods, especially on consoles. I've been doing it on PS4. Now I am aware that PC and Xbox have a larger number of mods out there, and PC obviously has tons more than consoles ever will do. But they do add a nice touch and improve general gameplay aspects. There's quite a lot of them. Some change graphical, sound. There's some that can be used just to cheat basically in the game if you want an easy game, or you can unlock all skills straight away. Some of the ones that I've got, which I'll talk about, mainly mainly used just to enhance the gameplay a little bit. So there's a couple here that's by a modder called Mikago. So he's done lamppost of Skyrim. So when you're in environments outside, you'll notice there's little lampposts just dotted around. It's nice, especially at night time. You see a little glow. It's just a nice little touch when you're walking around. It gives you a little bit of a guided path. This same mod has also done a Rich Merchants of Skyrim mod, so he's given all the merchants a base level gold of 10,000 rather than I think 1,000 in the original game. So it's easy if you're selling a large number of loot, or if you're crafting a lot of items, you can sell them quite easily without having to run out of money or travel between cities and vendors. There's surreal lighting, which just changes the general rays and ambience in the lighting in the games. That's by a modder called Arendelle. One of the best ones for me, which stands out, is one called Realistic Conversations. This is by a modder called Gorgulla. Now that just changes the way NPC dialogue flows, so it's a lot faster, doesn't have as much pausing in between the dialogue, so it seems to flow more like a natural conversation. But also, if you're in a conversation with a direct NPC, you won't have the NPCs around you trying to talk to you at the same time, so you're not having to sometimes even free lots of audio going on at once, so it just stops all that and cuts it out and makes it a lot more lifelike. One that's really good and I'd recommend is the Immersive Citizens AI Overhaul. So that's by Arnaud.Duchamon. I probably pronounced that wrong, but basically that makes the AI of these citizens more realistic. We'll do things like run for cover if there's a dragon coming, or if there's a creature that's absolutely going to batter them, but rather than just standing there, they'll try and maybe preserve themselves a lot more. Just change the general behaviour of them, so you'll notice they're not always in the same fixed positions in the cities as well, so that you'll see they'll walk around more, they'll change between taverns, you'll see some of the shopkeepers out and about at night in the cities a lot more moving around, so it does give an overall sense of more realistic movements of townspeople. There's one that I've got in called just Big More Blood and Gore, so that's by a modder called Spocrates. That just adds a bit more blood and gore, not an excessive amount, but when you're hacking and slashing it does stand out more. There's some weathering effects, so there's things like Supreme and Volumetric Fog. That's by Manny GT, and there is a great mod called Rebalance Level List, and that's by Evo Talax. Now what that does, it just changes the way the loot's distributed. So as you get stronger and level up, you get better loot in chests that you find in the game's dungeons and caves, strongholds. The chests will have better gold, enchanted weapons, ores. The more you level up, the better you're going to find basically. There's a rain and snow effects mod by Cheska. That just basically changes the way the snow and water effects leave traces on your character. So if you're in a snowstorm and you go to a third person view, you'll be able to see the snow settling on your arm. It looks quite frosty. And there's a new one I've just seen today when I checked in called Skyrim Hair Colours by Dennis83, and that just at the moment adds 83 new hair colours. Some of them quite vivid, like bright greens and reds. It's a nice little touch. And you can go into the mods library section on the main menu anytime to get updates for your existing mods, or search for new ones. You can put in keywords and search, and it'll bring up any mods related to that item. So if you search in inventory or characters, you'll be able to see what's associated with that. You can disable the mods at any time. The only thing I'd point out is if you have mods installed that allow you to craft items that are not available in the main game, so like blades armor for example, although it is in the game, you can't craft it. There is a mod that lets you do that. If you disable that mod, then obviously you can't use that. Same with certain items that are added as a mod. If you reload the save after you've disabled it, you won't be able to use it, or it won't be in your inventory anymore. The only downside with the mods is when you've got them installed, you can't earn trophies or achievements. It's understandable, because some of the mods I've seen do things such as allow you to level up faster or earn or unlock all your skills and abilities instantly. So it would be cheating if that was it. It still allows you to earn achievements and trophies for us having the mods installed, so I can understand why that's been disabled. Overall, in my opinion, this is a great game. I've really enjoyed playing this so far, and I love the original anyway. If you never played the original, I'd recommend buying this purely for the fact that you've not only got the main game, but you've got the free add-ons as well. You've got mods which you can download, which add new weapons, armour, weather effects, even quests. If you're looking for something where you want a good couple hundred hours of gameplay at least, you're going to get that with Skyrim. You've got interesting quests, amusing dialogue, deep rich lore, and with Christmas coming up, if you're looking for something to sink your teeth into and stave away boredom over the holiday period, I'd recommend buying this game. Well, thanks for watching this episode of First Impressions. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to subscribe to my channel, it means you'll never miss any new videos that do come out. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.